Coordinates: 35 degrees 40 minutes 35.5 seconds north, 139 degrees 44 minutes 40.5 seconds east, 35.676528 degrees north, 139.744583 degrees east, 35.676528. 139.744583. Opposition: the House of Councillors is the upper house of the National Diet of Japan. The House of Representatives is the lower house. The House of Councillors is the successor to the pre-war House of Peers. If the two houses disagree on matters of the budget, treaties, or designation of the Prime Minister, the House of Representatives can insist on its decision. In other decisions, the House of Representatives can override a vote of the House of Councillors only by a two-thirds majority of members present. The House of Councillors has 245 members who each serve 6-year terms, 2 years longer than those of the House of Representatives. Councillors must be at least 30 years old, compared with 25 years old in the House of Representatives. The House of Councillors cannot be dissolved, as only half of its membership is elected at each election. Of the 121 members subject to election each time, 73 are elected from the 47 prefectural districts by single non-transferable vote and 48 are elected from a nationwide list by proportional representation with open lists. For a list of individual members, see the list of members of the Diet of Japan. Article 102 of the Japanese Constitution provided that half of the councillors elected in the first House of Councillors election in 1947 would be up for re-election 3 years later. In order to introduce staggered 6-year terms, the House initially had 250 seats. 2 seats were added to the House in 1970 after the agreement on the repatriation of Okinawa, increasing the House to a total of 252. Legislation aimed at addressing malapportionment that favored less populated prefectures was introduced in 2000. This resulted in 10 seats being removed, bringing the total number of seats to 242. Further reforms to address malapportionment took effect in 2007 and 2016, but did not change the total number of members in the House. From 1947 to 1983, the House had 100 seats allocated to a national bloc, of which 50 seats were allocated in each election. It was originally intended to give nationally prominent figures a route to the House without going through local electioneering processes. Some national political figures, such as feminist Shizue Kato and Fusei Ichikawa and former Imperial Army General Kazushige Ugaki, were elected through the bloc, along with a number of celebrities such as comedian Yukio Oshima, journalist Hideo Den and actress Yuko Mochizuki. Shintaro Ishihara won a record 3 million votes in the national bloc in the 1968 election. The national bloc was last seen in the 1980 election and was replaced with a nationwide proportional representation bloc in the 1983 election. The national proportional representation bloc was reduced to 96 members in the 2000 reforms.